and a little bit of follow-up engage as well. Now, there are a couple of immobile people onto JDG. Those solo laners, the Rumble and the Orianna, they can get destroyed by the Jarvan and Galio.
Get one shot by Kiana, Camille, all looking out.
Great.
You know what? Tien was really good in that meta. We'll see if they can go one shot the Rumble.
It's going to be a pretty good bounce house, and the shot being downed, and unfortunately for them, Xiaoshu is
The skill required to make Kai'Sa work in
many
like
scenarios
is
work?
very, very different. Yeah. Dragon for Grubs are traded
with
Weibo.
Rage Blade second. Not going to happen right now. Fighting over mid lane wave control. Banana Bush in control of Weibo right now, but Crisp is going to get caught out for defending that bush. Down for about half. If he had to burn the ultimate down to 99 and it's just stolen by Shun. Flash out from Tien. And JDG force their way onto the Dragon.
So no kills. Such a memorable head-to-head. But in this one, we are starting things off leisurely, slow, glacial, some might say.
That might be a slight movement of the tectonic plates, though, because Light has
Leaned on glacial era, and he versus
who's the woolly mammoth? Herald the woolly mammoth, big
Oh,
gang. The last couple of quite wide. No! Yes! Yes! Yes!
we now have.
Drop against
Oh
Gold.
my god. Sam, we do have Sam. We actually have a dragon.
Do we
For
have
once,
a fight?
we may actually have a fight.
Okay,
Pays
well,
over the wall.
2,000 HP. It's going to go down. Potential fight afterwards. Jork hits the Dredgestein. Has to flash out of the field around. Flash from Crisp.
Good equalizer.
Hero's entrance. They're going to try and interrupt that hero's entrance. That means Crisp goes down. The equalizer, as you said, dangerous. Cataclysm good. But Tien exhausted. Flash away from Breed. Taze Valkyrieing forwards. Blasco tries to keep Breed safe, but he can't. As Xiaoshu gets to follow him, they murder everyone. Finally, some violence. And JDG are the ones winning out on top of it. Xiaoshu, who should be out to safety with that blast cone.
Xiaoshu is the hero of that fight. As Weibo wanted to go in, the equalizer hit both carries and slowed them down. Breathe.
Potential shove up towards this top side now as well.
He still has both summoners. Quite hard to get the best out of him. You see that he's walking up pretty brazenly, just about to get himself the Muramana on this transformation. There you go. Equalizer used to chunk him out.
Clutch Ghost, by the way, from Crisp. Just about got him far enough away from the dredge.
This is good from JDG. What it means is that the HP is a little lower. They have 3 grubs, remember, so they can take a load of damage off of this tower. Even single auto attacks the DOT afterwards, takes a chunk off. Do that once more, maybe the turret falls.
Again, got a couple minutes until the next objective, so you can afford to be a little bit more profligate with your ultimates.
What does profligate mean, Sam?
If you're being profligate, you are being wild. Did get that second dragon, by the way. It was them who picked that up. Through mid lane we go. Breed tries to clear the wave with the weirding, won't be able to do so. Turning to the scene of the climb phase.
He's in the back. They're onto the dragon now, a JDG. Can Weibo mount themselves a fight here? They're a little out of position.
Just flipping it. Breathe on a potential flank angle has been warded off by Xiaoshu. 3k HP on the dragon. TM with the flag. The drag available. Over the wall goes Breathe, and the dragon is just taken by Shun. Second now for JDG as they need to back away from the Between Worlds, and Weibo Gaming unable to pull the trigger really and put out. In comes the equalizer though, gets a good chunk onto Breathe. He's now potentially in danger, has to flash on out. Redemption coming on forwards. Xiaoshu potentially looking over the wall. Tien goes in with the flag and the drag, but gets knocked up by the death charge. Goes down for the Cataclysm fully armed. Xiaohu goes in with the hero's entrance, but he's only entering into a battlefield in his own demise. Over the wall goes Light with the killer instinct, does get 2. Pull back with the shockwave, and his moment of glory is quickly snuffed out.
That's a good effort from Light, but JDG are just more coordinated in the fight.
Top forward for better cues, and back again.
Yeah, he's one of the few which might do okay with that one, but most people again. Because it brings you right back to where you were, it's really quite hard to use. Light gonna walk in towards mid lane, has the E upgrade, but uses the barrier to try and clear the wave.
Oh my days, gets to the wave and actually leaves someone split up on the other side. Scout just about to find, he got a good shockwave, flashes out, stays alive. The hero's entrance comes on through, the knock-up in, but the equalizer tags Light. He's burning, not quite dead. Over comes Breathe, looking for a counter punch of his own, goes between worlds. The problem is that Xiaoshu is sending him everywhere else. The Cataclysm comes on through from TM, but there's no follow-up anymore. All of the cooldowns have been burned.
Light makes a huge mistake going for that mid lane wave clear and losing his barrier and his HP. If he had the HP to follow up onto Scout, that would have been a one fight for Weibo. That could have been the play back into the game, but Light's misstep and JDG and Paze's punishment sees them not only getting the kills, but getting the Baron as well.
Scout has the Medjais and the move speed, guys. I'm telling you. Limited in terms of his ability to one-shot someone with current builds and play patterns. I did cast recently an opportunity Jarvan.
Yeah.
Which in NLC, and that was one-shotting people. That was very funny.
Yeah, you do run the risk of, sadly, if you ever get caught not one-shotting people, you die very, very quickly. You know, some people out there remember stuff like Ravenous Hydra Jarvan top and the like.
Do you remember Ray playing that for C9 top?
Yeah. Apparently, he's coming back into pro play, by the way.
Oh, congratulations to him.
He's doing his, he's done his military service, so he's coming back into pro play.
Right, Lorky, who's got a more Malmortius to deal with the very heavily magic damage team, actually. Even the Kai'Sa building mixed damage, right? And then Paze gets the Valkyrie away. Stretch out on the wall goes wide, but Jorfair getting into body block a lot of this. An attempt there from Breeze, who just doesn't hurt Paze with all the magic resist and the redemption coming on through. Breeze nearly burning out the equalizer. Tien and Chris desperately low. Kai'Sa takes out a Nautilus. That's the best they can get. Flash into ignominy for Xiaohu, and 4 members fall. Breathe on the fountain with no tools left. It's a slow game. It's a grindy game. It's a boring game. All the same, it's a Jingdong game. They will be winning game 1.
Xiaoshu's Rumble, so impressive in this first game. The equalizers have met the answer to the equation that they need. The Nexus will fall. JDG will take an early lead in the series versus... you're not killing the first target as easily. Weibo really needs to blow out lanes and get into those first skirmishes quick and fast. Drafts in for our second game.
Gage at the level 1. Xiaohu's going to have to flash. Stays alive for a second or two. Can they get the last auto? They can. Paze with first blood. Ghosted heal now burns. Scout potentially dangerous. Tien will audacious charge it. Looking for the 3 talent strike passive. Can't quite get it. Now they're getting turned around on themselves. JDG get the kill, but a little lower on the health bars on the whole here. Chris looking to find an interrupt on the back. Can't find the soul flow. JDG back away. Prevent. Easy interrupt. Will just about get that reset, but of course there's the double back available. Resource. What are you going to do? Your breakfast sandwich is going to be absolutely empty now.
So I agree for a breakfast sandwich, but, you know, I wouldn't put HP. So hang on a second. Flash forward for the stun.
Flash incinerate, and then the disintegrate after. Seismic shove to disengage. Flash grand entrance. Flash over from Shun, looking to get the last autos. And Paze on the roam, looking to lane swap. Gets value. TM forced to flash away from the potential feather bolt, and another kill goes the way of JDG.
What? It takes 3 flashes. Move around the map. Xiao, who not able to land the flick back, but did land the big rock onto Paze on the worked ground. Tien potentially looking to contest on this blue buff now. We'll see it going down. And I don't think it's going to get to a low enough HP where Shun can immediately smite it. Tien, Chris, Shun, Draw, anyone else coming into the play? Scout is coming over. Doesn't have the ult, but does have the stun.
Weaver's Wall now allowing for a potential engage from Xiaohu. 700 HP, won by Shun with the smite. So all it leads to is a couple summoners blown. No one being really dead.
Yeah, dude, the ADHD gaming where I'd have, you know, Subway Surfers in one corner, 2 different streams in the other ones. Pop back, does he ult him through the wall?
Thought about it, but you're actually already on the right side of the wall. Meant they didn't want to drag him away from that potential angle, so it'll just be the Dominus procs. And Xiaoshu looking to reset anyway.
Wondering whether he'd try and pull him back into the turret is the thing. Grub's now spawning. Xiaoshu doesn't have teleport. With him not committing to that kill there, I think Weibo will now pick up all 3 grubs.
He did get the early dragon as well, so Weibo actually with a better start in terms of the objectives this game, even if JDG are the ones with the early kills. Bit of an overstatement. Scout with the passive stacked in the mid lane. Line bush is a ward right now for the side of Weibo, spotting out what's happening with the dragon. Crisp is kind of looking to step on forwards, gets down the inner focus resolve. Light looking to try and nab that one. I won't quite find it. Tien goes in with the crescent guard, going to get sped around with the quickness, and then turning on to Light, who's left very low indeed. Looking for the focused resolve onto Shun, won't quite find it. Xiaoshu goes all out, trying to find some value on the other side, but he's in a 1v5. That's a bit deep. Casante, flash on now. Breathe with the dominance rolling. There's feathers flying. That'll probably allow for a good pull here from Pace, who's still holding the flash, and finds a wonderful angle for it. Crisp low, trying to back himself away with the Inspire. The kill off the Shinzo, who doesn't have the Crescent Guard anymore. Breathing to slice and dice around. Gets a good heal with the culling of the Meek. But what about the rest of the health bars? Chris got no mana. A grand entrance. Jewel will trade aside for it. Adolfo strikes on so many members. Brings down the Renekton health bar so low. Shun flashing for the force and finds it. Adolfo strikes again. Xiaohu trying to get some more threaded balls and can't land them onto Pace. It's a 4-for-3 right now. Xiaohu ends up eating some footwork, and Xiaoshu confirms the ace.
Xiaoshu carries the fight for JDG after
Flash stun to confirm the kill onto the Shinzo, and then it gets dicey because the health bars start getting very low on both sides. But back to live, we've got more important things to talk about, meaning impending violence. TM with the Crescent Guard again, not KLOL as Medic would say. All the while, that blue buff being attacked, but surely secured here by JDG, and they lose another member.
With a solid gold deficit. They're going to maybe even take a blue buff on the other side, and Chris caught out. He isn't there for flash.
Oh boy, he burned his flash in the last play. Charm goes on the TN, learns the win becomes lightning. Shun might now be in danger. Turns over the season, says Breed looking for the flank angle. Would likely kill Shun here. Damage back though onto the likes of TN, who's so desperately low and light with no summoners. Goes down. They trade jungler for 2. In goes Jewel. Can't quite find TN. Who has got the blast going out to safety. Backstep on the seismic shove. Jewel will dance and stay safe. That's the end.
Topside Herald has spawned, and I suppose that will be the extra kind of implication of this is, you know, is someone ready? Hang on a second, that's an ult towards topside, but he runs into both solo lanes. Not sure he expected that.
That's a bit scary. Scout's going to get healed by that redemption. Looking to go all out onto Breathe is Xiaoshu. Scout low, gets another stun. The true shot barrage from downtown secures the kill on Scout. Another 3-part Topo strike 3. Pays him with the Feather Storm. And the weather keeps being so inclement that it's JDG who murder 4.
How does he get out alive? The Omnivan from the
over
this split.
I think he's hit more multi-man Q3s than single-man Q3s.
Yeah, and then every time you hit someone, you get
be there faster was hugely valuable. They get the Herald afterwards, looking to continue to turn the screws. And Weibo Gaming are feeling the pinch of it. Tier 1 falls in mid lane.
full turret down there on the bot side. Scout got a trade onto Breathe. Pretty sure he just dies for it though.
Does indeed, but now Jaws around, Reed is low, overcome the rest of JDG. They've got a Battle Herald and the taxi comes on in. Quickness, knocked up multiple times, slammed into the wall. Vengeance for Scout, swiftly secured.
Is that a Herald or a Battle Tank? Drives it down to the bot side. Gunner was ready, and there was a full CC and Rage Up. If a Q had come through, he could have healed and maybe survived. But the CC lasts too long, and JDG will go from mid lane turret to bot lane turret, taking both and taking kills in both exchanges.
It's a challenge at 2,000 LP.
Oh, God. Oh, Xiaohu on top side does have grubs, but if he gets... the wave clears come through now. Does the turret shot come on? I think it might do. There's an ult still available for Vi.
Yep, can look to buffer through. Xiaohu has his Seraph shield run out. No flash to really find a way out there. And that means a 5th death.
They couldn't get an empowered Q healing. Dragon now going to be forfeit over to side JDG as well. Scout alone on the side lane, but dodges out and the wind becomes lightning. And a defensive teleport from the Rakan will see Scout to safety.
Dragon secured. JDG now. Unrelenting
excessive force.
Is it excessive force?
I think that's what it used to be called. I don't know what it is.
I think it's unrelenting force.
Oh yeah, they got to get rid of all of those.
Assault and batteries now cease and desist.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're gonna make jokes about it, stick to your guns. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Dragon on the bot side, not Dragon, Atakan being started with JDG by forcing Weibo out of the side of the map. There's no real contest coming in.
Doesn't look like it. Shinzao is back in base. This is gone. True shot barrage is not going to be quite timed right. 2,000 HP is a little high even for an Ezreal ult.
A little high to be an Ezreal ult. A little short. A little short to be a Stormtrooper.
A little tall to be a Hobbit taking the ring to Isengard.
Yeah. Like what's his name? Carrot might just go towards the unending despair. Upgraded boots, of course, for him as well. 20 seconds till Dragon Weibo, trying to push out mid lane to give them easier access to the objective.
This would be soul point for JDG, not actual soul. So there's a world where Weibo could give it up, I suppose, but I don't think that's going to change the game state very much. What are you waiting for item-wise? Maybe was it more on light if you were going to do that? You can't see a lot in the jungle. I know that's making things tricky. Blast Cone taken. Scout with the passive stacked again.
And the Dragon started. Weibo says they could give this one up. It's not the soul itself, but they don't scale particularly well, as we've been talking about. They'll see the Dragon go down. No contest. Some Safari League of Legends. They just sit and watch the wildlife.
Oh, Light has going to have to cleanse immediately as Scout finds him with a Disintegrate. Trying to go in there. Just TN with a Audacious Charge and 3 Talon Strike. The backs away quite swiftly. Now Soul Point. Baron's in 30 seconds, and we do this dance again. But just on the
important, but losing the Dominus means your immediate fighting powers a little bit lowered, really. Renekton really struggles to fight without that Rage on demand. Baron spawning. Weibo trying to clear out some vision. It's going to be the Territorial Baron, I believe that's what it's called. As JDG trying to force Weibo out of the river.
Of course, they do have all those different forms on Baron to force you to do different warding patterns and stuff. In comes the cease and desist, actually, TN. Now in danger, has to Crescent Guard, but he's Crescent Guarding into, of course, the fact this Sante's in the backline already. And TN is dead. Flash away from Chris. They're going to get 2 kills, the top jungle down. And Weibo Gaming blink and lose their health bars.
Now, what do JDG do? Do they immediately go back towards the Baron? Hell yes, they will. Baron on the table for JDG and Weibo. They have not been able to use the early power of their composition. They've barely been able to use anything. A flash forward or jump forwards, and that is the all-out.
All out onto Light, who is looking like his is a little bit dim today. Flashes over the wall, has been exhausted. Where do you go now? The grey screen for at least another 45 seconds. At the very least, Xiaohu survives. As to Scout, was also...
They have a great amount of wave clear, which is the problem. Not exactly going to be able to defend their base, I don't think. 2 minutes to the Baron buff. Ezreal does tag onto draw. Will likely have to recall. Does he have a spell book?
The item done for Pays, who has once again been very consistently dangerous. They'll find the quickness, Breeze needs the dominance and finds time, but he's being CC. Double shove is good. Draw dies, but it's only the Rakan. Is that really what you need? Dice away as Xiaoshu. Also left pretty low. Feather pull from Jay Pays is scary though. Shun gets the shield with the denting blows. They lose another. Blast shield not enough. Tien goes in too deep. Shun's got the Jay to work with, and despite all of the talk, Pays with the feathers. He's still unthreatened. You've gotten kills on the front line, but not on the bird, who is speaking words of pain. Quadra kill, I believe, for Pays.
Pays getting all four. It won't be the Penta, but Pays carries the late game. The AD carry, which has performed so well for JDG, despite the team's ups and downs, closes out this game in fashion, and JDG will go to an early match point against Weibo.
10-0-9 just decides that he can see the angle, sees the vision, threads it perfectly. JDG 2-0 up at Weibo. Where are you? You need to wake up, because this series is looking mighty challenging.
Oh, it feels like a bad dream for Weibo. Poppy. Now, we did say there's not that much dash on the side of Weibo, but Poppy is still a very good early game skirmishing jungler. So JDG, they can hold the wave there, let it crash, and then slow push back in time for the grubs. Flash forwards for the gold card. Scout no flash of his own. Is the full Q going to come through? Yes, it is. Tien wall stun, but he's not even going to be needed. That's a little bit of damage down with a Q through. Shun tries to disengage. Scout caught out well, and surely the gold card. Be banking his reaction time for that one. Heal thrown out. Spell shield used by Pays. Good damage back onto Light, actually, and that flash forward for a little more. That's not bad from the wild growth, though. Light will escape with the help of Crisp. Uses both his summoners. Pays keeps both of his alive. That's a pretty good win there for JDG, actually. Double summoners and double ultimates. We'll get a little bit of gold up here. Going towards that Riftmaker first. I think Xiaoshu could really break this game. And Xiaoshu has been the linchpin for JDG, really. And, you know, we've talked about if Weibo win, it's largely through Tien. I think for JDG, earlier in the year, then you start questioning the value. Plate going over towards Light. Light's gotten a lot of value out of lanes. Has his Cull stacked in as well, which means that that value's come through. Chris still has no flash, and they don't see the teleport, I don't think. Teleport coming in from the Victor, who's back with the Chaos Storm, and Light, well, he doesn't have any summoners either. Dead. Yunara pushes for the plates, and he'll get smashed in return. So you too, Nico. Q from Sion. He missing. Xiaoshu, interesting to see who he ults here. Does he choose to ult someone easily at all? Draw flashing forwards onto the bot lane. Flash away from Light. Chris flashing away as well. Both summoners down. Shun engaging on the other side a little bit to force Breathe out. Double summoners away. Draw just using his own flash. He's had a pretty decent series draw, actually. The Rakan was good. The Nico's had good value. Now, there's still a Poppy ult, still a Mordekaiser ult. Even if things get spooky, he can remove someone from the play. Xiaoshu, he does pull the ultimate. Ult coming back from Breathe. Went unstoppable, but it didn't really help him that much. TF ult coming through, and now Xiaoshu, I think he's going to be left alone as he comes out. Pulls the E back, but I think the Mordekaiser might still die. Good Poppy ult, though, to disengage. The ability to remove people from the play really coming up tops here from JDG, but will it get them out completely clean? Graffield, not bad. No one dies. A lot of summoners and ults blown. Xiaoshu's somehow surviving without using his flash. Yes! Dragon likely taken by JDG, evening the score of Dragons 1-1. Self, he would need a couple of auto attacks. They have the 3 grubs, so would likely die after that point. Draw coming in. Didn't want to commit the flash, so that's just an ult down. Good damage from Light there, stacking up the Q. Poppy ultimate being charged up and will force the Yunara away. Just wanted to keep the tower alive. It's not like there's an object. I don't think they're winning on the Mordekaiser matchup as hard as they want. The turret should fall in topside. Feeds the strength going to Weibo because of that first turret. Mid lane turret will fall as well, and JDG lose both outer turrets. Quite short success. Atacon started by JDG now. Their DPS is not bad on this, but I don't think it's enough to stop there being a fight. I think you have to peel off this. I know JDG want this objective to happen. I don't think you should be really going towards this too hard, though. Not a bad death ray coming through from Scouts. Top lane is coming down. Xiaoshu wanting to just remove that Sion. Good trade onto the Sion, actually. Xiaoshu doing well here. But he needs to pull the ultimate. There it is. But he's going to be left alone. JDG need to make a decision. What is going to happen in the rest is teleport in from Scout to make sure that Xiaoshu is not alone. Poppy ult saves him, and now Xiaoshu has to force his flash as well. JDG don't get the objectives, but they do stop what could have been worst case scenario of Xiaoshu getting left alone. Doesn't have the Hexblade just yet for lower ult cooldown. Not a bad angle from him. Tried to stop. I just punched the microphone. Was Sam not here? Well, I have to try that. Dragon has spawned, of course, as we saw during that too. But now with no Mordekaiser ultimate, Breathe does have his ult too. I don't think JDG can fight this. I think Weibo winning out the battle of attrition. Get the Dragon. Atkan's still alive. Shen, need to be a little careful there, buddy. I don't think he wants to deal with the Sion quite yet. Xiaoshu's job is basically remove the Sion from the fight and get value. Atkan's still available, of course. Xiaohu pushing in bot lane very heavily. Breathe was helping him by standing in bot river. JDG yet to get a single tower. That's not a good stat for them. The full outer ring has been destroyed on JDG's side of the map. Upgraded boots coming in for most of Weibo now too. Everyone but Light, in fact. Ooh, Light going for the burst forwards. That's the Infinity Edge! And the Arc of Ruin will not quite finish the kill. A heal from Draw. Pei is not using that flash, but that is now started by Shun. Atakan on the other side. Weibo would have to move up from Atakan very quickly. They pull off the objective, and the Baron is started truly. Say that. Shun's the only one damaging right now. Breathe stops that Q, ults out, and is pulled back in. That's a very low HP draw. The Xiaoshu, does he pull Breathe into the ult now? No, not quite just yet. Good chunk there from Weibo across most of JDG. Draw blowing that flash is an important tool down. Turret finally falls in favor of JDG. Pays will push out that wave here now too. Giving them some, I suppose, extra vision in that top side. Light stayed in mid lane. Shun left alone here. Breathe taking some damage, but Xiaohu has the fire cannon. Gold card has to flash to because otherwise the Q would have come through. TM might just ult him now. I think they might see an ult kill here. Xiaohu, where is he in all of this? Where's the next gold card? There was an ult on towards Scout at the top here, and the E lands. Flash away from Light. Xiaoshu does have his own ultimate redemption, giving some healing back. No critical damage dealt so far, but Weibo coming out stable. Just still around 5,000. This has been a chess match more than a League of Legends game. An extra dragon taken from Weibo, but JDG, they can afford to give one more over. The Atakan is still alive. LCK fights more than this. This series has been quite low action. It's quite strange to think about that. Breathe. How much damage can he do? Xiaoshu not here to remove the front line just yet. Draw. Proto bolting back. Doesn't have the flash to land the big engage. Gold card locked in, but not thrown. Good damage, though, just from random poke. 10 trying to land that as well. Xiaoshu in the bush. Remember, can pull someone out of the play. Xiaohu roller. Oh, it's going to be really annoying for me. Where does that gold card go? Goes on to the Victor. No Baron aggroed onto him. Still, you see the chunk coming through. Poke a little bit better for Weibo than it is for JDG right now. Gold card onto Xiaoshu. These gold cards are really scary. Xiaoshu is left alone now, and the gold card is onto him. It's a dead Mordekaiser. Xiaohu, with the extra gold cards being so threatened, now he has the flank angle. There's nothing to remove Breathe from the play. Where is the Poppy ultimate? It goes nowhere because the Fury presses W. Pays getting damage down, but I don't think he'll be able to survive, and indeed he won't. Scout, the damage is not enough as Weibo slow roll the game into their first likely victory now in this series. Teleport through to the mid lane. And Weibo, play it slow, play it steady. The fast gameplay not working out earlier in this series. The slow gameplay working out so much better. And we will see a fourth game in the series. Weibo not to get swept in this one, as game 3 goes the way of Weibo. JDG couldn't make the removal composition work. The Mordekaiser Poppy couldn't quite pump people out at the right timing. And they will not get themselves their own lead 3-0. Game 4, here we come. Double AD assassins, I suppose, of Ambassador and Zed, if you count the Ambassador as that. Very high single target burst from Weibo. But will they have enough to I know you ought to walk in with something like the Braum into the Swain E. You can start E quite easily, but let's not throw ourselves into death here. Breathe coming round. Xiaohu on the side. Does he start with a Q or the W? Draw walking forward, trying to proc that Braum passive. Getting it onto Xiaohu, who has to flash. Early flash for that. How much damage can they do here? They get the first blood. Xiaohu goes down, killed by Shun on his Kindred. One of his best champions of all time. Good damage back, Tien. Another Razor Shuriken into the back, but the damage... Oh, they could go for a big play here. If they can get the Braum passive down, that is very, very scary. Now, Chris does have both summoners. Will he be able to survive even with both? The magical journey not taken. Missed his boarding time for that flight. And 2 kills now after Shun, even though no marks have been claimed. Ooh. Barrier popped by Light, although the shots went elsewhere, actually. Braum passive up here again, and Shun's just walking up again. Braum passive. Once more, there's a Swain W and pays, flashes forwards, a culling to finish off the trade. Turret shot will not be enough to threaten Shun. Scout, Slayer, Triforce, and then a Merc Treads as well. Hope that you get the feats of strength and get the empowered Merc Treads. Control. As fast as this Zed has been at clearing, hasn't really provided that much value. Scout, now he could be in a bit of trouble. He has a little bit of HP. He's walked up too far, though. Flashes, and it won't matter. Bad flash from Scout. Doesn't bother popping the ultimate. The ultimate might have helped with a bit of regen, but no, not here. Good flash from Xiaohu. First kill goes towards Tien. Dragon taken by JDG. Easy take for them. Here's a mark on the tower. 3 grubs on Scout makes it much easier for him to get value out of this. Xiaoshu, okay. Lissandra Zed, it is a scary combo. And it will be a quick kill for Tien. And Bard, actually, from Ambassador. Scout doesn't have flash just yet. He takes down a play. He's going to die for this one, you have to feel. Does he pop the ultimate? Yes, he does. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, though. He's healing a fair amount. Credit to him. He can run pretty well. The Rylai's really helping, actually, forcing the flash from Breathe. Scout will die, but forces the extra summoner out. JDG, do they have an answer anywhere else on the map? Hayes was waiting to see if Weibo. If they don't cleanly catch the Kindred, Kindred can do a lot of work. Dragon started. Shun has his smite up, had the second stack of that available. Low HP will be taken by Weibo. First one for them taken in this game. 1-1, and we have a Hextech Rift. So, 4th mark traded for Dragon, basically. Situation too with their super team they've built. Trade of side lanes. JDG have the 3 grubs. That makes it much easier for them. A mark onto the grubs. That'll be mark 5 for Shun. Extra attack speed on the Q. Percent HP damage on the W. And execute on the E. Turret on the other side from Breathe. Slower to kill it. Wants to make more of his wave die to the tower. I think using the Protobell to get out there. Not sure if his E was on cooldown. I'm pretty sure it was available. A little bit of hope. Lissandra with the Protobell gives them some extra range on targets that E just missing from Scout there. We were saying even in Champion Select how important that Swain E can be for random pick potential. Triforce completed for Shun. I really want to see him to go towards a... Oh, hang on. That's a good W there with the Rylai's on it too. Forcing a flash from Crisp. The Shadow from Tien, not too bad from him in terms of damage coming through. This should open up the mid lane turret, though. Xiaohu, I don't think he goes for an engage here. No, he doesn't. There's a mark put onto Tien as he ults forwards and tries to get something back. Can he escape, though? I'm not so sure. Has no flash. He'll survive with the redemption. Not nearly as much to be said about Crisp, who's gone down. JDG playing around there. Swain, Kindred. On the other side, the Lissandra Zed. 2 very different mid-jungle TV2s as Sam's come in to spot the game. Has gone to a game 4. Yeah, on the whole, though, JDG getting the better of the early game. 5 marks for Shun. He's doing quite well in that regard. Gone towards the Triforce second one for once instead of something like that. Going towards it, Bardot used to check. Makes Shun go invulnerable. Oh, Brando. No, Brando. Romal used not so much avail. I don't know if this Atacom's going down quite quickly enough. Perhaps it is. Tien could potentially shadow in for a smite. It's going into 3k. 2k coming down. And the smite goes the way of the Kindred. Here comes the Swain, and things get messy. Lucian is dead already. Says a numbers advantage, but the Swain in the Kindred ult is causing issues. Xiaoshu trying to chase forwards. The Jin is alive. How much can Scout do? He is trying to keep himself alive. The Rylai's burning. The Swain is just so hard to deal with, so hard to escape. Scout flashing forwards, and that is the danger of the Lissandra into this matchup. You can't always close them down. Scout counterpicking, and with an 8. If you have to close the distance, the Scout gets onto you. Yeah, you're dead. Dragon now taken by JDG. Q level advantage in the jungle. I suppose it's level really, but as it stands right now, the Petal's doing so much work. Almost a full level for JDG across the board, besides top lane, mid lane in a turret taken, bot lane in a turret falling soon as well. Baron hasn't spawned yet, so that's why they don't have that to push in with. This could be the end of playoffs for Weibo. Wouldn't be the end of year. If they lose this series, they will go into 6th in regionals. They will start from the lowest rung on the region place for the Kindred and use the Kindred ultimate to do nasty things. Scout, much better series than the last ones he's had in playoffs. He's had some... Hang on a second. Brown Besser. I don't know if they know. Everyone else is coming up there. They're going onto the Swain. Now Shun is in range. Disengage coming through from Weibo. Tien, does he have to hop to his shadow? The E coming forward. Jesus, damage coming from Shun. Did not that damage coming back from Light, though. Weibo, do they think they can get something better after this point? There's a catch onto Scout in the front line. He doesn't have ult now. And Shun is out of the picture. Where is the Kindred ultimate? Shun dies! Shun dies! Shun has flashed and ulted. Big mistake. Pays having to carry the fight. Can he get it? No. Weibo threading the needle and punishing Shun's massive misplay. Does not flash. Hops forward and dies instead. Oh, Shun. What a mistake to make on your iconic champion. Oh, man. What a misplay. Ends up being... Zed's not going to be here in time, I don't think. Bard ult will buy some time, though. What is going to be the plan? Breathe over the wall. Does it go down to low HP? Where is the smite? Where is it coming in? Zed steals it! Zed steals it! The smite lands true from Tien. There's a mess afterwards. The fight going the way of JDG, though. 2 dead from JDG, but their damage is alive. 2 alive from Weibo. Can they escape? Lights. Can he get all the way? Shun trying to hop forwards. Hop, skip. Can he get over the wall? A Weibo Baron steal. Shun jumping forwards potentially again. Good Bard steal there too. Not bad damage from Light, but can they save the game? The inhibitor might fall here. I think JDG might try and end the game with these 3. Scout has ultimate. Jingle being loaded up here. Does Scout have a W to throw it onto him? Scout can... Oh, that's a problem. The clan's coming through. Hopping forwards. Decent damage onto Pays and onto Shun. Using the ultimate to keep the minions alive. They can keep one Nexus turret in. There's a teleport coming through as well. JDG wants the end of this series. Light. Is he bright enough? No. Scout puts the Zhonya's on. The Nexus will fall. And despite the heroics, Weibo will lose 3-1. JDG win.